Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Yesterday was full of nothing but big mistakes in my trading, just a bad mental day. Let me go over those trades and how we can recover here today, right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. Okay, so yesterday had sorry, first of all, did not put a video out yesterday, not because my trades were absolutely garbage, but I did not get home from work until about 8:30 at night, and I just honestly could not do it. Did not have the energy yesterday for it. So, but let's go over kind of what occurred yesterday. Where do we start? Let's start with gold, which was my biggest mistake. Actually, let's start with oil, so I could kind of explain to you guys what really happened yesterday. So I ended up making a hasty decision right early off, that I was going to take session one in oil. So I took this with four micros, and this ended up turning into a loss. So we get in on the inside bar at 8:10, closing at 8:15. Goes in our direction, probably about 50 to 60% take profit. Did not reduce my risk here. Reversed, knocked me out for 18 ticks. Now the issue is that at the exact same time that I was taking this trade, gold shows up at the 8:10 to 8:15 candle. So what do I try doing? I tried getting in with my same 5 micros of the MGC, the micro version of it, and I just kept getting errors. I believe it's what happened is I hit my contract limit in Top Step. So it took me about 20 seconds to figure that out. I then, like an idiot, I changed. First of all, gold won yesterday, but it gets even better than that. I switched to the GC, which is the E-mini version of it, jump into the trade, and trade reverses down on me pretty close to stop loss. I then realize that I've got $310 of risk here. I've got, I think it was about, I don't know, I want to say 90 or $70 of risk in oil, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, it's too much risk for where we were at with the eval, which yesterday we were up, I think we were at like 51,000 something. So what happens? This thing starts to kind of flirt with the entry line. I then reduced my risk, which didn't follow my rules, didn't follow my conditions, just followed risk because of the sizing, the position sizing that I talk about all the time on this channel. And knocks me out, and sure as shit, this thing goes for full take profit. If I would have stayed in that trade, I would have made a $310 profit on it. But that's not even, honestly, that's not even the worst part. The worst part is if I just would have traded this normally how I normally trade this with 5 micros, I still would have taken my full take profit. It would have been $140, $150 win. Everything would have been great, but I did not. So that was a big mental mistake. I then get into oil session 2. This is like the third compounding mistake. This one actually ended up working in my favor, but I jump in on a short. As you can see, the setup was to go long here, based off of the 9:15, 9:20 close candle. We should have got activated to the long right here. Excuse me. But since I was on the MCL chart, I my orders automatically came in at the bottom of these inside bars, and based off of my entry management indicator that I have, and this thing gets activated into the short. Now the short ended up working out for me, so I was able to kind of reduce my loss from yesterday, but pretty much was a mistake in every single session. So trading wise, mental wise, it was absolutely garbage. So today, my focus is, yesterday I was focused on just trying to win the day. Today it's just trying to have a mentally strong day. Stick to your plan. I'm going to be trading oil session 2 and gold because I just want to make sure I've got that position sizing all figured out. It's where I should have stayed even yesterday. So as far as the dashboard, we took a $170 loss yesterday, which shouldn't have been that big, but it is what it is. Currently, I sit at $50,824, so got about an $825 buffer there. Rob reversal hits. We get activated to the long at 12:15. Conditions right. Closes above the 80 MA. Reverses, knocks me out for 35 points on the eval. Did not take this in cash. I was actually pretty frustrated by the time I left here for work. I knew I had a long day yesterday. I had appointments until almost 8:15. Got home at 8:30. So didn't really have much chance to be with the kids or anything. So it was just a brutal day yesterday all around. As far as the levels are concerned, I did take a trade yesterday, posted it in Discord, and well, I'll get to that here in a little bit. Let's start with the YM. Obviously, we had CPI this morning. We took a huge dump in price action here. I mean, this move was massive. So it kind of wiped away a lot of the different levels that I kind of had set up. And at this point, we've got a gap above us that still has not been filled or tapped into. Starts at 39,359 and ends at about 39,517. We've got a major level at 38,564. So if this continues to go down, this would be a level that I would look at. And let's take a look at the MQ. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's take a look really quickly here at the MQ. We've got the exact same thing, big dump. Funny thing is that we had this old level right here, still on my chart, that we had never tapped into. It's exactly where it went to this morning, 18,068. We go back to my previous videos. This is the exact level that I had laid out. And it's funny that that's where our bounce came in at. As far as levels are concerned, though, we've got, excuse me, on the NQ, we've got a big gap pretty much at 17,910. And this gap goes down to 17,736. So this is an area that we could very potentially see price action wanting to dip into. We're going to have to see a pretty big continued move downwards to get down to there. As far as the trade from yesterday, I deleted the levels already, but my level from yesterday was right here, right at the entry point. I had a level laid out yesterday, right there, and tapped into that level, took the bounce off, and took that for 15 points or $300. So that is the NQ. Let's take a look at the ES. So the ES, we've got this gap got filled in already this morning, right before the CPI news. So this gap is gone. I mean, they literally filled it right almost to the tick. And we are at a level I had laid out at 51.82. We've got a level at 51.68, 51.60, 51.54. Great trading opportunity, in my opinion, if price action can get down here. But again, it's going to need a big continue to move downwards. The fact that I like these that the levels are pretty close together, so stop loss, it makes your stop loss a little bit easier to manage. So we're going to continue here. Gonna get ready. I'm gonna get mentally ready for my morning sessions in gold and in oil. Need to get back on track as far as my mental side of trading, and hopefully the morning strategies cooperate. I'll see you guys here in a little bit.
Order canceled.
Okay, so here is our first trade in gold. We get activated here into the long off of that green inside bar. Again, we've got another scenario where, if you look at the black down candle right before the inside bar, it's a huge source bar. So to cut risk, we always move it down. Anything 40 ticks and higher, we move it down to 35 ticks of take profit and stop loss. And on this trade, we initially had a decent push in our direction, but quickly just kind of gets stuck into this bottom end of this range where, again, we need that thrust out of the entry, out of that inside bar. That's what we're looking for, is that initial push. Now, the moves that have been happening in gold have been, really, really strong. I mean, this is probably one of the strongest price actions that I've seen in gold in a while. Or I should say, for a while, it's been extremely volatile. So I know that the 35 ticks is definitely, again, it's a pretty easy trade. We're not asking for a lot just based on what price action has done. But, we need it to go in the direction that the strategy dictates, and that is a movement outside of that inside bar. And unfortunately, in gold this morning, we just did not get that push that we were looking for. We took a max size loss on gold.
Stop filled. Order canceled.
Okay, and here we get into our second trade of the morning, which is in oil. Did have, again, issues with my bracket orders on the entry. I think price action just moved a little bit too quickly. So did have to put in my bracket orders here manually. Trading four micros in oil, which is on the left-hand side of my chart. Our entry is off of that red inside bar, and we get activated here into a short. Now we have been in a recent slight downtrend in oil. So at this point, we're just kind of looking for a continuation of the trend, but more importantly, we're looking for the movement outside of that inside bar, which I believe has a very strong correlation with indecision in the marketplace, and finally price action, deciding in which direction it kind of wants to take a burst out of. And we're not looking for huge moves. We are looking for very detailed, very specific take profits, very specific stop losses. That's part of the rules and conditions on all of my trades. And that's what keeps me to one trade or one or two trades, depending on what sessions you're trading in oil, and one in gold. So it's very predefined. You know exactly what you're looking for, when you're looking for, how much you're trying to go for, and obviously you're looking for price action to validate that setup. And here, the only scenario that we have is that we've got news that is coming out here shortly. So more than likely, you are going to get a spike, especially when it's, a higher impact news. And luckily, price action goes crazy, but to our take profit. Nice trade in oil.
Order canceled.
All right, so kind of a so-so day in trading. Let's see, where do we start? Let's start with, you took a look at the trades in oil. Actually, I like to start with the losers. Let's start with the loser. Let's go into gold. So we got inside bar at 8.15, close at 8.20. We then have an order, obviously, to go long at the top of your inside bar right here. I can hit the shift key. Nice. And you'd have an order to go short at the bottom of your inside bar right here. Price action taps you into the long, so your OCO order on the short side gets deleted or gets canceled, I should say, and you are into a trade for the long. Now here you would then be that's your entry. If we go to the bottom of our source bar, which is the bar right before the inside bar setup, it's 65 ticks. We automatically reduce our stop loss to 35 ticks, and we're looking for a target of 35 ticks, and pretty much get wicked in here and reverses right on you for a 35-point loss. So we've actually had a lot of, for the good and the bad, we've had a lot of max source bars in oil and in gold, especially in gold. So that's just telling you that there's a lot more movement in the market. There's a lot more volatility in gold. Obviously, this morning was a pretty big news day as well. So that was a loser in gold, which you guys saw in the video. And now it's kind of interesting on the trade in oil. So session 1, we got the inside bar at 845, close 850. We get activated into the short. We do get some momentum out of there, but reverses on us, knocks us out for a 16-tick loss. I did not trade session 1. So I have a max of 5 contracts that I can trade with this 50K eval. And based on that, it's hard for me to take oil session 1 and gold, because either I'm going to have to go to a 3 micro, 2 micro mix. And I mean, I guess I could do that. Actually, now that I'm saying that, it doesn't sound like such a terrible idea. Currently, I'm taking 5 micros in gold. So we'll see. I'll mess around with that, but I need to have a better plan than what I did yesterday. Yesterday was just complete shit trading on my part. But we then get an inside bar. This is now session 2, and we got an inside bar at 9:10, close 9:15, same setup. We go short. I think this is 1 tick there. Yeah, that's right. And so we are looking at 25 ticks of stop, 25 ticks of take profit, and the momentum was there. It was in profit most of the time of that trade, but the 9:30 news just completely took us to take profit. And the interesting thing is that I'm taking oil with 4 micro contracts. I took gold, which was a bigger trade. It was a max size trade with 5 micros. Okay. I think with gold, I was down 172 from the video, and my take profit on oil session 2 should have been, let's see, 25 ticks. So what would that be? I could have swore, I think it was like $120. So I should have been down like $50, but this wick down, I actually got slippage on my take profit in my favor, which is pretty crazy. So I think I ended up the day up either $10 or $11. You guys saw it on the video. And I'm sure with commissions, it's pretty much break even, but either way, that oil session 2 was a beautiful trade to at least in my eval get me to the green. Didn't do it in my cash account, which is weird. Cash account closed out right at my take profit, but either way, I'm okay. We did have a Rob reversal, unfortunately. Again, just like yesterday, just getting caught in this chop, and let's see here. Pretty nasty price action. Again, exactly like yesterday. We did get a setup here at 11:15, and we got activated to the short, quickly turned against us and took us for a stop loss. So the raw reversal is down for April. It's just had a very bad string of trades. So, again, and if you're trading it and you're trading it maybe on an E-mini, reduce your position sizing and or wait to see if how the trades start to kind of evolve with the system, and maybe you just reduce your risk a little bit. Every strategy is going to go through a period of down, and it's going to go through a period where it's red hot. Obviously, we've been in just many consecutive months of red hot Rob reversals on the NQ. But right now we're in a cold streak. So it is, that's part of trading, and you just have to adapt. Or you maybe just move to the morning strategies, that part of trading is dependent on the individual trader. So that's the way that goes. As far as the levels are concerned, I was positive. I did something I don't normally do. I took one extra trade today, and that extra trade knocked me out. And again, today, I was trading this early. I left to work again around 10 o'clock. So I was trading this early, not on the YM, I'm sorry, but all of the charts pretty much look identical. Just pretty shit price action. But I did take a trade on the ES, so let's pull that guy up. So my first positive trade, I think I was positive $122. Was right off of this secondary bounce right here off of my line this morning. And then I took a trade right here-ish, so maybe 9:15, between 9:15 and 9:30, and just reversed on me. Went the right direction because it hit right back to my level here. But again, just not enough. My stops are kind of tight on these. So it is what it is. Not the best day of trading. It's late in the day. It's 5:30. I'm going through my busy season right now with real estate. So, it's a little bit more difficult for me to, I can either finish my videos at like 10:30 and upload them early, or unfortunately sometimes you got to do it when I get back from work, and I still got to go back out because I got an appointment tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm excited for tomorrow. I know that I don't know why, but I've got this gut feeling inside. You know what? I don't even like saying gut feeling because in trading there is no gut feelings. I'm excited for the rest of this week. That's what I'm going to leave it at. And I will see you guys here tomorrow. Happy trading, everyone.